Let's just say the first thing we're going to do today is say hello to our friend Anita Carroll, who put a comment in before the show even started saying, looking for the Friday vibes. We're bringing the Friday vibes, talking about hybrid tech, subscriptions, data breaches, Gen Z, whatever else Kyle's thinking of. I just listened to the new Post Malone country album on the way in. I have thoughts on that.
Friday, the new Post Malone. Check that out. That's
I got some real thoughts on that. I'm making a video about this one. I literally, Miles will tell you, we were in the car and I'm like, I'm making predictions right now. And here's why he might be one of the best brand thinkers on the planet. We'll talk about that.
Oh boy.
But we're Friday, man. Friday.
Man, we're Friday. You know what's cool is like last night I was talking to my wife about just how energized I get around the prospects of being around people, like way more people in auto. Right. I mean, you work in a bit of an office, but it's a smaller office. I work at home. I have my fam. But next week, being at Reynolds Amplify, being at especially NAMAD, like that crew throws
always
down.
Off the hook.
I cannot wait.
Always.
I can't wait to see. If you haven't been to NAMAD, you are doing yourself a disservice because the DVL Awards presented by Mark Bland and Damon Lester on Thursday morning is a full riot and amazing. So,
and we got tons of OEM. I mean, Toyota always brings like 3 tables of people, and they're always fun. The Toyota Lexus crew, and people step up. People step up. We're gonna bring you everything we can. Our friends at True Car Plus are going to be on the ground. Matt Jones, our people going to be with us. They're sponsoring our NAMAD coverage, so we are going to be bringing to you some live coverage of the NAMAD annual meeting. On the show. We'll be on the show. There'll be other content dropping. So go to asodu.com, sign up for the email subscription, or it's not a subscription. It's free. Maybe it's a free subscription, but we want to bring you all the good stuff from the show. And we're going to maybe do a vlog, and Jordan Cox is like scripting out this vlog. We're recording a podcast. Hey, this is the first time we're talking about it. This is an Asodu production now. We are going to be producing NAMAD's very first podcast. It's called Now We're Here, talking about all the amazing things these minority auto dealers are doing, really breaking some amazing just boundaries in automotive in general. I'm not even talking like race-based boundaries, but they're breaking boundaries in like just great operation. And there's a lot to learn. So it's called Now We're Here. Damon Lester, your boy's going to be the host. And I think we got some good executives lined up. So look out for that too.
Yep.
We're busy these days, if you haven't noticed.
We're busy.
All right, let's talk into some news. A lot of people are busy.
The news is busy today. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, European regulations are busy driving the development of plug-in hybrids with significantly longer ranges, offering a glimpse of what might actually be coming to the U.S. So some European plug-in hybrids now offer electric ranges of up to 84 miles, more than double of what it is in the U.S. So if you don't know, plug-in hybrids, right, you can plug it in and have a battery that you run on just electric power until the engine has to kick in. Now, 84 miles is like amazing. In comparison, US plug-in hybrids like the Prius Prime Max max out at only 45 miles of electric range, with the majority of only 25 to 35. Any plug-in hybrid in the US is usually between that range. California's regulation changes will drive similar advancements in the US after requiring plug-in hybrids to reach a minimum range of 43 miles by 2028. And 70 miles after that. You know what's after that? 2030. Developing long-range vehicles definitely going to require some more investment and engineering, posing a cost challenge. But, regulation tends to tell you what you have to do.
Exactly. I mean, I'm still bullish on this, right? Like
big time.
Figure out how to make the plug-in hybrid or, worst case, the hybrid operate on the electric motor as long as possible, right? Yep. That solution is going to be the way to get the mass adoption moving in the direction. And especially a plug-in hybrid, it kind of gives you that in-between mode of like, okay, I have to start to get used to, plugging this thing in, but I still have the fallback of gas and I still have that regular rhythm in my life.
Oh my gosh.
I'm starting to get used to this.
Takes the excuses away because I wonder what the total range is on a plug-in hybrid. It's probably 400 miles plus.
Oh, at least. Yeah. For sure.
At least maybe 500, maybe more than your vehicle. I'll tell you
because that hybrid battery is still operating similar to how like just straight up hybrids are, where it's getting some recharge. So you're getting that higher miles per gallon.
Right. I mean, we haven't talked about the price of lithium in a long time. It feels like that was the big conversation for a while. It seems to have died down. But I mean, one of the things, obviously, you need less lithium for these batteries because they're a lot smaller. And I mean, 45 miles is enough for the majority of people's daily driving needs if you plug in every night. 85 miles has to be like 90% of the population drives less than 90 miles a day on average. Yep. Just plug in.
You know what's okay? So I just look up the price of lithium from October 31st, 2022 to now. It's like down, I don't know, some stupid amount. It's back to like where it was in 2020, 2021.
Okay.
So that's a great thing for hybrids. And
I know, look, that's like a story in a story.
A story in a story. We
gave
it
story
to
in
you.
A story. It's just kind of a story in a story. But they're at it again. I don't know. We just need to intervene in BMW's selection for what we're going to charge customers subscription for. They're once again sparking some debate with its decision to charge U.S. customers to unlock now features that are features that are installed in the vehicles now, requiring payments to activate adaptive suspension on vehicles where it wasn't selected at purchase. Knowing the hardware is already there, they can either subscribe monthly. That's $30 a month, or pay a one-time fee of $500 to activate the feature. $30 a month is all. Okay. BMW claims the strategy reduces production complexity by installing uniform hardware. That makes sense. And using software to manage feature availability. Enthusiasts are vocal about their dissatisfaction with paying to unlock features that are built into the car, but BMW shows no signs of reversing the trend, suggesting it's here to stay after their first swing at the pitch, which was heated seats. Now it's adaptive suspension.
Yeah. It's wild because like when Tesla comes out and is like, we'll give you an extra 100 miles for some money, everybody's like, yeah, I'll show you the money, right? Know. BMW does the same thing. Now, I think like is it attached to hardware technology? What are you unlocking? Like the thing is, what are you unlocking? And is there value that's already been ascribed to that in the historical way that things have been bought and sold in automotive, right? Yeah. Like range has never been bought and sold.
Good point. That's
right.
A good point.
Like it's never been like pay $3,000 more to get better gas mileage. Yeah. Right. That's never been like a lever that OEMs have pulled. Right. But things like heated seats or adaptive suspension have a matrix. It's go up in trim level, right? Yeah. And so I think that's where people are probably getting caught off guard. And that's where some of these OEMs maybe need to think about, like, is there a matrix already for the consumer behavior of buying and selling this thing? Or is this a net new thing that we can tack on? I think that's where consumers will start to be more, adaptive of this.
That's a good breakdown of it.
Put me in the room, Paul. Put me in the room.
I always feel like that. I mean, maybe I'm being a little hard on them. I mean, when you're the first one in the pool, you're going to make some mistakes, but they only have two strikes. Yeah. I'll tell you what, you better be really confident in being able to notice the adaptive suspension.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to be really confident that drivers are going to be like, this is great.
This feels different.
So glad I just paid $500 or $30 more a month. Or maybe they just know their demographic and like that dollar amount isn't a major deal to people who buy brand new BMWs. Like they definitely know, they know more than we do about that kind of thing. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's almost, is this the kind of thing where it's like, hey, great news, try adaptive suspension for this weekend, right? It's adaptive suspension weekend. But then you really better be confident that it works because, not worth it. I don't know. I guess if people get more used to it, when people get more used to it, we're going to see it change a little bit. Yeah. Yep. Speaking of getting used to things, unfortunately,
not one of those.
Unfortunately, we have 4 stories for you today, by the way. Shocking data breach exposed the personal information of, get this, billions with a B, with serious implications, over 2.9 billion records. And if you didn't know, there's only like 350 million people alive in the US right now, including social security numbers were stolen allegedly from National Public Data, a Florida-based background check company. So I guess they got all the data. They're not pulling it from anywhere. They just have it, I guess. How does that happen? The breach is attributed to the US DoD group, which claims to have stolen data and is offering it for sale on the dark web for $3.5 million. That feels like, excuse the pun, a steal. While NPD has not officially confirmed the breach, it's acknowledged receiving inquiries investigating the claims. Experts are saying, obviously, identity theft and financial fraud. How could that happen with someone having every single social security number now and in the past? What are we going to do?
Buddy, I'm just like, I'm at a loss. I'm like, something has been exposed, right? This year. And I think there's waves of this. Like you see waves where like something new happens. And so my guess is like something critical in the path of development has been exposed over the last like 5 to 6 months,
leading to all
that is allowing more
increase.
and more. Yeah, it's got to be what it is. Like hackers have found X, right? That allows more systems to be breached that wasn't able to be found a year ago, right? And what you see these waves, like these big companies, you see it for a year. A bunch of companies kind of get it targeted and attacked, right? So,
I think the biggest implication,
the whole thing here is just like, yeah, keep your data safe, keep people logged in,
right? Doing your diligence to keep it as safe as possible. I think people are going to get smarter about like freezing their credit, controlling their credit. I think the blockchain is going to have a lot to do with the solution to this. Transactions happening being verified on the blockchain. It's something we haven't mentioned on the show in a long time, but people underground that understand how it works and why it works, the usefulness of it is going to increase when every social security number is out there, every date of birth is out there. 3.5 million for every social security number in history seems like I guess they could sell it multiple times. I mean, I don't know. Are there resellers? I'm sure. Like, is there an official reseller program? But when it comes down to this, it's like, what can you do but shrug your shoulders and be like, I don't know. The title lock companies are going to do really well because of this, right? Like someone's going to do great. Your home. No. Maybe they're never. I'm not going to make any implications. Maybe they're the people that.
I'm just.
They're not. I'm just. Kyle's just sad.
Speaking of being sad about this one, come on.
That's good. That's a great segment to end a Friday. Fantastic.
So apparently, employee disengagement seems to be on the rise, and experts are warning of a looming Great Detachment, as they're calling it, particularly among Gen Z workers. Gen Z is on track to outnumber boomers in the workforce this year and expected to make up 27% of the workforce by just 2025. That's next year. The American Staffing Association warns that disengaged employees could cost the global economy over $8 trillion. Experts are reporting that it is common for Gen Z employees to engage in performative busyness, not genuine productivity.
Was that line? Performative busyness?
Performative busyness, not genuine productivity. As evidenced by the number of Zoom meetings in my life. The CEO of Applied, Kyati Sundaram, notes Gen Z is vocal about work-life balance and transparency, which some older generations mistake for disengagement or laziness. So it could just be a generational gap on whether or not disengagement is actually happening. But we always get in this battle every time a new generation enters the workforce.
We do. I think some of this is like that. I don't know if you noticed this, Kyle, but a thing or two was said about millennials.
Just a couple
things. I'm at the tail end of Gen X, and they called our generation losers. I mean, it was like grunge music, right? Like, what a bunch of losers, get a job. You know what I mean? And so I think there's something about this that happens with any generation. You find an accusation. Definitely, though, Gen Z has figured out how to leverage tech to look busy. Like without a doubt, right? The Zoom calls. I mean, there are things that will like create a video that'll just keep it on like a 40-second loop at meetings. You have people taking interviews for you on Zoom calls. So, I mean, like, I understand that they can leverage this in that way. However, I'm so bullish on Gen Z. I don't know if it's because I have Gen Z kids and like just see their ethic and their drive and their friends and man, Gen Z is a great generation. I do think this is a fantastic opportunity for the retail auto industry. This is not an industry where you really can get caught, where you can get away with like slacking or sleeping for long, right? No. You can't. There's nowhere to hide, which means we have a chance to attract the best Gen Zers and like be on the best side of the engagement, the best side of the opportunity. So I think, people self-select by what they're willing to put in to their life. So, I mean, the story is disengagement's on the rise. Okay.
Yeah. Change that for the auto industry. Gen Z, the most engaged, the most engaged generation in the automotive industry. Let's go. Rebrand that, Joker. Man.
I don't know, man. I've seen those 75-year-olds still in the hunt in the auto industry. I don't
They go hard.
They're pretty engaged still. We hope you have an amazing weekend. We'll be here tomorrow morning with your Saturday episode. But until then, you got a Friday. You're going to be busy. Sell some cars. Love some people. Keep